Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having a fantastic day today. Let's get right back in it. In the last playthrough, we had just gotten through clearing out the Grey Garrison. So, let's go ahead and leave and see what's next in store. Anything we need to pick up? A couple of things there. There. All right, let's leave. Come on. And everybody's happy. Make way! Make way! Warrior Queen coming through with a round for the heroes. When Anivia reaches the long table your party is gathered around, she heavily flops onto the bench and hands out the tankards of beer. The heart is packed, and you considering nixing this little shindig, Beth? I did consider it, and I am still considering it. It hasn't even been a week since the last demon was booted out of Kenebris, and we really should be in a period of mourning for all the city's fallen, Erebeth sighs. But the people deserve to celebrate, and Samoy Sykes deserves to be honored for saving the city and possibly all of Mendev. If you want to heap more praise on me, don't hold back. Now that's how you celebrate your achievements, Anivia toasts you with her tankard. According to the watch reports, there have been no demon activity whatsoever outside Kenebris. I get the feeling that the demons are as shocked by what happened as we are. Erebeth rubs her forehead pensively. What happened in the garrison? What you did? It was a miracle. I truly believe that the gods remembered us and decided to intervene. Beth, come on, you agreed. No serious business today. All right, I'm done, no more. Who would have thought we'd be celebrating a successful attack on the Great Garrison, our own fortress, and now that we've blown the roof off the place? It's simply unforgivable, comes the cheerful voice of someone sitting at the far corner of the table. While we're on the topic of the roof, there's already a rumor going around that you, Samoy Sykes, have been blessed by Amadei herself, and it was her power granted to you that destroyed the garrison's walls and roof. And it turns out the people want a little piece of that blessing for themselves. The town folks are gathering chunks of the garrison's rubble as souvenirs and talismans, and I'm sure they'll hit the black market soon enough. Oh yeah, here, breathe on this for me. Anivia pulls a piece of gray stone from her pocket. For good luck. I wonder if I can get a cut of the sales. I know a guy who knows some guys. Anivia gives you a conspiratorial smile. Nevi, Erebus mutters. What are you on about now? What do you mean? Do you see many people at this table who've been personally blessed by Amadei herself? Well, a couple, perhaps, says the same mirthful voice that joined in before. Amadei's blessings are not conveyed through stones, and as public officials, we really shouldn't. Erebeth looks at the end of the table where the voice originated, and her eyes widen as the words trail off. I feel a little chastened after what you said about public officials, but I myself have acquired a few pieces of stone, and also wish to ask our hero to breathe on them for good luck. So what now? Are you going to toss me out of this fine establishment? The woman dressed in unshowy finery raises her eyebrows. Your Highness! Yes, it is me. I made the journey here to deduct the cost of repairing the garrison roof from your salary. The woman rises from her seat, approaches you, and holds out her hand. We have not been introduced. Galfrey of Mendev. Do not move. The Queen has graced us with her presence. The Queen notices your act of disrespect, but passes no comment, only quirking her brow and giving the tiniest of smiles. As you can see, yes, I am here. Erebeth, finally recovering from the shock, bolts to her feet. Your Highness, I'll have them arrange. Calm yourself, Commander. I deliberately came here without any fanfare because I did not wish to draw attention away from our honored hero here. My personal guard and the force I brought with me are standing watch outside the city. I ordered all of your sentries to stand down. They also deserve a break. Every person who tirelessly fought to save Kenebris will enjoy themselves today, and my reinforcements will ensure peace and order. Will you join our celebration, Your Highness? The Queen laughs. Please don't Your Highness me. We're in a tavern, not my court in Nerosaia. Address me as you would any comrade in arms. Concerning the celebration, as you can see, I already invited myself. I couldn't pass up the chance to meet the new hero all the Crusaders are talking about. And soon, not just Crusaders. We all need to get some rest. Because grand new deeds lie ahead, yes? Your Highness, my dear cousin. Count, I admit I was surprised to learn that you valiantly joined the ranks of the city's defenders. Pleasantly surprised. I live to please you, my queen. My first thought, when Discari cruelly robbed us of noble Terra de Lev and half of Kennebrez's Crusaders in one fell swoop, was of you, my queen, and of how these events would weigh heavily on you. No one could have foreseen the demon attack, and we have so successfully held the defense here for 4 heroic crusades. I'm going to drown him in the nearest well, this very night, Erebeth mutters. I value your dedication and your eloquence. The queen gives him a genuine smile. I hope you will continue to aid our soldiers. Not a chance. You know that I'm not made for the front lines. Samoy Sykes, excellent bash, but alas, I really must go. Important matters to be getting on with. A new shipment of wine from Cayone and 3 beautiful creatures of the same provenance. But I will most assuredly come to say my farewells before your army departs on its campaign, which, wherever it may lead you, will undoubtedly be crowned with victory. I shall hold you to that, Count. And now, allow me to devote some time to the hero of the evening. I did not come here solely to give you this chance to celebrate, but all serious discussions and official announcements can wait until tomorrow. I have big plans for all of you. The Queen smiles archly, especially for you, Samoy Sykes, but I want to keep you in suspense for a little while longer, so I shan't say another word. Let us mark this victory. My first toast is to you, the hero of Kennebrez. Now, what are we drinking?
The fires of Kennebrez have died down. Now the army's path leads to the walls of Dresden, a fallen citadel that the Crusaders have been trying in vain to reclaim for 70 years. The new piece on the board might give their efforts some added momentum.
Absolutely. Scar. All right. Here comes the real game. Is that him next to Erebeth? The hero who saved Kennebrez? The Queen is coming! The Queen! Rise, warriors. Today is a day of sorrow and pride. Sorrow because we weep for our brothers and sisters who perished in Kennebrez. Pride because despite demonic treachery, our heroes repelled the attack and saved the city. I, Queen Galfrey of Mendev, declare this day the first day of the 5th Crusade. And I am glad to introduce the one who will lead the attack on the forces of the Abyss. The hero of Kennebrez, Knight Commander of the 5th Crusade, your leader, from now on to victory or death. Hooray for the Queen! Hooray for the Knight Commander! And now it's time to rest. Everyone is dismissed. Everyone return to your order camps. You heard the Queen. Dismissed! There, the troop review is finished. I'll give you some time to look around the camp, and then I should expect your presence at headquarters. Commander, please allow me to join you while you inspect our encampment. Absolutely. And there we go. All right. So, the camp is here. Storyteller. The old elf smiles when he hears your footsteps. Allow me to congratulate you on your victory and on acquiring mythical powers capable of casting down the strongest of demons. I got the page you were looking for from the Grey Garrison. The storyteller carefully takes the page from your hands. His fingers touch the ancient letters gently, examining them lightly, following their lines. I see myself, young, energetic, able to see. Oh gods, have I found the key to my past? Finally, I will find out what my own mind has been hiding from me. The elf's expression becomes withdrawn. The wrinkles on his face soften. Thank you, Samori Sykes. And please, follow me to my story. Let us embark on this journey together. The storyteller inhales sharply a few times and begins his story. They are leaving. The people of Kyonian faced their coming earthfall and admitted that they were incapable of handling this disaster. Proud rulers, artful crafters, brave warriors, wise mages, and skilled healers, all of them hurried to the gates of Silverian, looking around fearfully. A clean, safe world is waiting for them there. My people decided not to fight for Galarian. I am ashamed, and I am sorry for them. Their hearts wavered in the face of the catastrophe, but my will is strong. I am staying. My kinfolk are looking at me angrily. How dare I diminish their decision with my recklessness? My choice makes them cowards, traitors of their own home. One of them, my former mentor, looks at me bitterly. He hands me a neat notebook with a tree bark cover, in case you change your mind. With a heavy sigh, he returns to the line of those departing. Forgive me, brothers and sisters. I watch the gate of the Silverian stone close, separating me from them. It's time for me to go too. I open my master's notebook. These are his notes about traveling between worlds. In case you change your mind, he hopes the burden I shoulder voluntarily will be too much. I will lose heart and find my way to Severian. That will never happen. My mouth set stubbornly, I tear my master's notebook to pieces. I use my forced pride as a shield against my fear of what is to come. Why did the elves decide to flee, not fight? The storyteller's lips purse with disdain. They are afraid to lose what they have. They were rulers, long-lived and powerful. They valued their lives as sunshine too much to enter the fight with the aftermath of Earthfall. Your mentor is a mage? Then you must be too, yes? Yes, I am an archmage, and this title is well-deserved. I have acquired delicate mastery and succeeded in many areas of magic, but curiosity has always pushed me toward new knowledge since the first day of my apprenticeship. What is a Severian stone? A magnificent crystal built into an arch by a mighty hand of an ancient divine creator. Our great gate to other worlds. It breathes power. It dreams of eternity. Why are you angry at your fellow elves? I spent many hundreds of years in Kyonian. I have always admired the way my kinfolk cared for the forest that was our home, but the rest of the world seemed to mean nothing to them. But I love Galarian, all its places, all the forms it manifests in. I traveled widely and then came home and told my kinfolk about my travels. But they weren't interested. They only cared about Kyonian. Their lack of desire to hear about the wider world makes me sad and angry. What happened next? Earthfall happened at night. I am standing at the top of my tower, many miles to the north of Kyonian, and I see a blaze far in the south. I hear a horrendous rumble. The air is groaning, giving way to a huge rock, rushing down on my world. And then, a blow. Vibration that penetrates everything, reaching down into the bowels of Galarian and up to the vaults of the sky. Crunching bones, blood from burst vessels, filling my eyes with darkness. Drowning in timelessness along with countless denizens of Galarian. Never before have we been so united in our feelings. When I came round, the darkness remains. My first thought, I'm blind. But no, little by little I began to see the stone wall. I am alive. But why is it so dark? The answer is quick. The smell of ash everywhere. The great burnt sacrifice fills the air with incinerated particles of what was recently the continent of Aslant. Great clouds of ash covered the sky, cutting us off from the sun and the moon, dooming us to dusk at day and complete darkness at night. My heart sinks with fear. Treacherous thoughts fill my mind. Why did I stay? Why didn't I run like everyone else when I had the chance? I clench my teeth and stand up to watch Earthfall, proudly, like the last archmage of Kyonian should. Will my world really perish like this? Will I perish? No, that will never happen. I am still alive and I can fight Earthfall and the darkness, not run from it in a blind panic like my kinfolk and my cowardly teacher. But what can I do? I will not stop the disaster. I will hardly be able to save empires from the destruction. What can I do? I am but one archmage, powerful and weak at the same time. What is Earthfall? A disaster of untold proportions. An unborn planet dropped on Galarian by blind fate or someone's evil will. A blow so strong that the continent of Aslan is destroyed within moments, turned to ashes, wiped off the face of Galarian. In this burnt sacrifice, clouds of ash and dust are born, stealing our sun. Without the warmth of our star, the air cools. The soil is barren. Dark creatures crawl out of their lairs to rule. And the most frightening thing, without the sun, all hope dies in the heart. This is the age of darkness. What was the tower you mentioned? It's my retreat to the north of Kyonin, my home away from home, my observatory. From its top, I watched the stars and, when they were correctly aligned, the other worlds as well. Here in the northern wastelands, I found the highest mountain and built a tower on top of it. On clear days, I could see the mist over the lake of mist and veils in the east. That's how high I was. What are you going to do next? I don't know. I need to think. My opponent, Earthfall, is much stronger than me. Without noticing, the storyteller raises his voice to a shout. It is merciless. It does not simply destroy life, it kills in error, ending the greatness of Galarian civilizations. They will sink into oblivion, be forgotten as if they never existed. I need to think. The elf suddenly winces and is silent for a few moments as he calms his heavy breathing. Forgive me. I shouldn't have raised my voice. This story was much harder than many before it, most likely because I played the main role in it. It is so strange to see myself, feel the emotions tearing me up inside, those that I felt a long time ago and not remember them. It's like I split. I became both the storyteller and the main character. Too bad the story ended at that moment. Please, if you find other pages covered with ancient elven writings on your travels, bring them to me. I might be able to shed some light on my past, and we will find out how my story ended, and perhaps even why I forgot it. Tell me about Earthfall. Is that what we just went through? Yep, that's just what we went through. Okay. What happened next? What are you going to do next? Thank you for your stories. Thank you for helping me remember them. Nope, I already know that. Have you decided to join the crusade? I've decided not to, I'm afraid. My path and the path of the crusade lead in the same direction, but, alas, they are not yet one and the same. After the demons were driven away from Kenabres, the path into the world womb became open, if only temporarily. I'm planning on using this opportunity to visit the earth. The elf falls silent. It doesn't matter now. I'd hate to bore you with the details of my venture, which may prove useless even for myself. However, I'll try to return to the Crusaders and aid them in their confrontation with the demons after I'm done. I hope to meet you again in this world rather than the next. Please examine the items I'm carrying. Maybe perhaps some of them could tell us a story. The storyteller nods politely. Let me touch them and I'll tell you what I can see. Now it is just shard of the past, but I feel its power. The elf carefully strokes Terendilev's claw. For only a huge force can resist the scares of the enemies itself. Please, allow me to immerse in this memory and learn the story of the spiritual resurrection of the greatest of silver dragons. The elf looks at you with unusual impatience. Shall we? Revive this relic for me. Give the broken buckle and the required materials. The elf cautiously uncorks the vials and begins to weed spells. The essence evaporates, turning into light that pours onto the buckle. The light thickens, becoming gold. The Covenant of the Inheritor. That's the name of this relic. This buckle once adorned the belt of a glorious knight from Mendav. It is the embodiment of a promise made to a young girl by a powerful deity. A great promise that has changed much in the world. When you touch the revived relic, a strange vision comes to you. It's as if you can see the events that happened to it in the past. A burning sensation spreads across your chest from the very spot where your mystery rune sometimes opens up. What is this? The influence of the storyteller's spells? Or is it something else? I had a vision. The old elf frowns. How strange. You are an amazing mortal. No one has ever shared my visions with me before. What do you think caused this? Perhaps these things have something to do with your destiny or the fate of someone related to you. I don't have an answer, only advice. Look for such relics. Look for what will link them all, and you will know the truth. All right. I think we already did turn to left, right? Flying, right. Flying, spreading wings. What happened next? We have more important things to do. Okay, I have to go. I wish you interesting adventures. Crusader Wizard. Oh, level up. It's frightening to leave Kenabres, but attacking is the best way to defend it. Nanio. I hope we meet Jaskari and Baphomet soon. I have numerous questions for him. But a psycho. This is both mine and Anivia's tent. We're both used to traveling, but the Queen insisted our tent be furnished like a commanding officer's. Hey, you all deserve it. This massive bed is clean and neatly made. Only commanding officers are allowed such luxury during marches. Boom, boom, boom. All right. I don't know why we're dropping frames right now, but okay. There we go. Check behind. What's this? 200. Definitely want that. That's all we got, okay? Ember. What's up, girl? Oh, wait. She's saying something. So many of our own have perished, and for what? These are the fighters of the Eagle Watch. I personally chose everyone that's standing here. And I'm ready to vouch for each of them. I've seen so many happy faces today. It's so good. For one day will come when no one else has to die. This is Nora Dindiwar's tent. It seems she brought a lot of unnecessary items along with her. Bunch of scrolls. Excellent. And stuff I can sell. Excellent. Oh, here we go. Oh, Samori, soon you will be marching with all this riffraff through the demonic wasteland, and I'll be lounging on a feather bed in wonderful company. Nice. I propose a toast to a fate well deserved.
I will guide us.
Hilarious. All right. Eagle watch, eagle watch, eagle watch, eagle watch. Happy to serve, Commander. Oh, there we go. Yep. Ooh, summon Earth Elemental. Man. Alright. I know there's... What's this? Oh, Windua. What are you looking at the sky for? You think winged demons are about to fall on us? And her response? You useless uplanders. The most dangerous enemy is the one that attacks from above. This is why camps are set up in small caves. And here all of us are in full view. That's it. Keep looking out for us. Master, these soldiers lack discipline and concentration. I won't entrust them with our lives, so I'll keep guard myself. No problem. You do what you do, girl. You do what you do. Ooh. Grandma Gretlin, director. A well-dressed old dwarf is lecturing a motley company, shaking her ladle at them belligerently. Noticing you, she flings up her hands. Good afternoon, your commanderness. Do you remember us? We're the crew for the next door theater company, the one you saved in Canterbury. Back when you weren't your commanderness yet. As you can see, we've come on the campaign with you. We have signed up to clean pots and mend the soldiers' clothes. Keeping up a theater is expensive, so we all have to take side jobs. But we don't stop what we're doing. We're going to put on a play about your legendary feats. Of course, the crowd scenes are difficult. We can't find the people to play the hordes of demons, and we have decided against using a ritual to summon real demons. Luckily, we have Master Kemp. He's invented a way to solve this problem using sound. We caught a pig and some piglets who ran away from a burned-out village, the glum and husky half-orc mumbled softly. We put the piglets in a box and scare them a little, and the sound they make is just like an approaching demon horde. But the most important question is, of course, choosing the lead actor who will play the great Knight Commander. We had to write Barney over it, breaking a number of lances as well as a shovel, a rolling pin, and a set of back scratchers. Wow. But we just couldn't decide no matter what. Maybe you can help us. We have 2 candidates that are most suited to the role. One will have the honor of conveying your heroism up on the stage, Commander. I'm to be played by a gnome? Not a gnome, 2 gnomes. Rumbledum and Hierophant are twins. One of them sits on the other's shoulders and puts on a long coat so they can play tall characters. They switch places every so often, so each gets their moment of fame. And that way, they each only have to learn half of the script. A Cyclops actor? He's completely tame, believe me. He has a few issues with articulation, but what a powerful physique. We'll make him a nice costume, wash him up, brush his hair. Truth be told, in our show you mainly just make short heroic exclamations at the fateful moment, like onward, or we'll never give up, or my heart burns with courage. Lambkin can definitely handle the script. Don't you have any other actors who even vaguely resemble me? We're a small and poorly funded theater, and we only have a few actors, but they're also talented, one of a kind. I've chosen the ones that are best fit for your role. Trust my vision. I have more than a few successful plays under my belt. All right, I've made my decision. The entire crew looks at you, holding their breath. I'll be played by the Gnome Twins. I'm not a big bruiser guy. Wonderful! Sorry we took you away from all the important things heroes and commanders do. We're off to rehearsal. First we'll wash some pots, and then we're off to a rehearsal. Let's go, you lazy lumps. Don't embarrass old Grandma now. All right. A group of soldiers is talking loudly, laughing joyfully, and passing around a flask. So picture this. My sword is by the fire, there's 2 goblins about to snatch it, and 3 more are digging through my tent. And I'm sat in the bushes wearing just my mail shirt, wondering what the blast to do. An old mercenary taught me about the mail shirt. You can't sleep in armor, but it's not so bad in mail once you get used to it. Too bad no one told me not to go into the bushes without my sword. So what did you do? What did I do? I barked like crazy. Goblins are afraid of dogs, you know. So they all went wild and started running around. I spot my sword and they spot me. So I jump over to the fire wearing nothing but my mail shirt. And I grab my sword and I yell in my big tough voice, "Oh, inheritor, grant me the power to crush these filthy creatures." My sword shining, the goblins are screaming. I jump to attack them and they fight back, but I fought them all somehow. But ever since then, I never take a step without my weapon. Seela takes a sip from the flask. Ha ha ha, that's some story. Hey, stop gulping. Leave some for us. We've only just set off and you're already drinking, and with the queen in the camp, stop this at once. The knight quickly snaps to attention. Seela raises the flask and says loudly, "Right you are, Commander Terabade. We are but drinking to the Queen's health." Chaos. Take Seela's flask. Give me a sip too. To our Highness's health. Arabeth rubs her forehead with the palm of her hand. "Commander, are you sure this is the right way to train your soldiers?" "Never mind. It's your business." Even when I'm evil, I want me and Seela to get along. You do remember that we promised to help Elon search for the ring at the abandoned camp? It's on the way to Dresden. We should have time to drop by. Yeah, that's cool. We'll drop by. No problem. No problem, sister. I got you. I won't leave you hanging. Alright, going here. There are fighters here that Her Highness brought from the capital. What is Camellia doing in here? We are few, but the gods are with us. The prayers of good people around the world are with us. Beautiful day, isn't it? Kyoto has nothing to say. Teacher, I sharpened your quills. Good. I can use some quills. And where's my inkwell? Please act like I'm not here. I just like to watch people work. Teacher, how should I hold my hands when I pray? Like this or like this instead? A stout old man with a fuzzy gray beard greets you with a deep bow. Well met, Commander. You've caused quite the stir. Everyone thought Kennebrez was done for, but the gods had other plans. There was quite a blaze over the great garrison, all the vermin running around with their tails between their legs. I know who you are. How did you end up on the battlefield? Everyone hears a story like that, but mine is a rather boring one. Believe it or not, it was bureaucracy. When the old rector of the Kennebrez Temple died, may Abadar rest his soul, the church required a replacement. I volunteered. Wow, this dude is really in pain. I volunteered and served for 30 years without incident. I prayed, organized festivals and funerals, bought candles, sanctified water, boring, mundane things that make up the daily routine of civilized society. But then civilized society failed and it was time for me to go to war. Praise Abadar who led me through the ruins to the defender's heart. Who was that boy with you? This one, Kayado the Shepherd, my apprentice. He's a smart boy, and his faith is strong. He serves Ira still, though, but there's still something he can learn from an old servant of Abadar. He'll be a great cleric when he gets a little older. What kind of help can I expect from you? First, if you need a scroll with a divine spell, I have a lot of them. Something for every emergency. Second, while you're at the camp, I can read any scroll for you. Guaranteed. No surprises. And you better not leave the camp without a cleric. I won't be going with you, so you'll need someone else who can read scrolls. Speaking of which, I'm not buying any of this yet, but I got 27,000, okay. We can get 2 of these. Not disease, not fear, paralysis. Not sickness, because I think sickness is usually temporary. You always need one of those. Might as well take it now. Not buying any diamond stuff yet. Okay, and that's all. Fine. Blocker. This is just a +1. +1, +1. This is one-handed, right? Yep. Give me my money back. Give me all my money back. All right. +1, I don't need that. Ooh, Scythe +2, some more can use that. Woljif can use this. Don't need this. One-handed, +1, don't need that. One-handed short sword, don't need that. Don't need this. Don't need this. Half plate, gotta check that. Might need that. Definitely need those. Don't need this. Don't need that. Don't need that. Hey, and I got a bunch of scrolls I could sell too. Excellent. All right. Good to have a resurrection scroll on you just in case. Check something real quick now that I think about it. All right, yeah. Curse has been cleared from the pets, so don't have to worry about that. Boom, 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 boom. I wonder if when I master death, will they give me some way to resurrect allies, the people that roll with me. Alright. Longsword, heavy flail. All those are just regular weapons, huh? What's this? We outfitted this tent to be used as our chapel. Even less pious crusaders will come here to say their prayers when the final battle is upon us. I've seen it happen in my previous campaigns. This place has been sanctified. It can protect the area around it from the corruption of the abyss. Cool. So if demons attack the camp, the chapel is where you want to be.
Without a doubt.
These are the Knights of Kennebrez, all that's left of the orders that was billeted in the city. Interesting. All of that is useful. Alright, and we check the metal over there.
Forwards.
that. Jurnah. Good day. Do you remember me? I'm Jurnah. We spoke in the Defender's Heart. So you're the commander of the Crusade now. Irisel knows it's hard to imagine someone worthier of taking up the post than the savior of Kenabres. May the good gods help you prevail. Yeah, I remember you. What were you doing in the Defender's Heart? What I was bound to do under my holy orders. I healed the wounded and bioed up the healthy to fight another day. Have you joined the Crusade? Don't take it amiss, but no, I haven't. I have my own task. I am needed in Chili Creek, a tiny hamlet which, due to some oversight, has been left without a priest these many years. I'm about to set sail for there. I'll be making my journey along Old Man Sullen. I have to go. May Iristel watch over you. Oh, well, just here. Cool. Yes, 3 cheers for the commander. Now answer my questions. Where are the mail shirts? According to the paperwork, we're supposed to have 50. I personally deposited the money for them in the Army's treasury. Good question. Oh, look at him pointing and screaming. Are you going to answer? And why is there dry bread in the barrels that are supposed to be filled with corned meat? I demand answers. What is the answer? Nah, go on with you. It's just like it says it is. Bothering an old man like this. So did Wilser cheat Horgus? I've never seen that dialogue before. That's cool. Do you know what the Queen does to people who keep her waiting? I don't, but I'd rather not find out. Queens expect you, Knight Commander, so I shall not detain you. We can talk later after our sovereign departs. All right, sounds good. Let's go have this conversation. Neuron Socio. The gang's all here. The Queen greets you with a stare. She has dropped the pompous air with which she just announced the Fifth Crusade. The face of the ruler of Mendeth appears calm and thoughtful. She has made her move and now awaits her opponent's reply. Commander, she quickly gets to the point. I am happy with the troop review, and I expect they will be sufficient for the task. I have chosen a target for your campaign, and that target is Dresden, our lost outpost within the Whirlwound. The Sword of Valor was stored there. It is a banner that was once held by Iomedae herself. Our greatest relic was lost when the city fell. I should make this clear from the start. The Sword of Valor is no mere symbol, but a powerful weapon against demons. The holiness of the banner weakens them and robs them of one of their most dangerous abilities, teleportation. A forced march to Dresden awaits you. The Sword of Valor is still kept somewhere within the citadel. The demons probably think it's a hunting trophy. Its recovery is just as important as retaking the city itself. I hope the task is clear. I'm sending 2 specialists to help you along with the soldiers. A historian, Noir Dindiwar, and a cleric, Socio Vanek. The Queen nods to the human man and the young halfling woman standing next to her. One of the famous inquisitors of the Church of Iomedae also wants to talk to you. The Honorable Leotor, whom everyone else calls Hawkblade. I do not wish to keep you, Commander. The matter I must discuss with you is extremely important, but is not directly related to the Crusade. You no doubt wish to meet your new comrades and speak with Her Highness. Therefore, I shall leave you now, but I ask that you seek me out in the camp at your earliest convenience. Hi, listen, it's amazing here. It's like I'm in a ballad. There's knights in shining armor, deadly dangers, glorious feats. We're going to show these demons. I'm so tired of sitting in the library reading books about history. It's time I took part in it. So she reminds me definitely of the Bard in Kingmaker, and I'm sure that's purposeful. Where's that book she's supposed to be trapped in? I wonder if that's somewhere out and about in the world. I'm glad to help our cause, Commander. If you have some time later, I'd love to speak with you further. You'll have plenty of time to talk. You're the Knight Commander's people now, his trusted advisors and companions. Now then, will you please leave us? Erebeth, you can go too. When we met at the Defender's Heart, I never imagined you'd make me the commander of the new crusade. The Queen allows herself to smile. Some actions may be deemed bold or even extreme, and beyond those, there are some you might call the Queen's last resort. I am not a simple monarch. I am at war with the abyss, a war which has lasted over 100 years. I cannot allow myself the luxury of caution. In you I see a chance, and I am willing to stake everything on it. However, you cannot blame me for putting you in charge of the crusade. I only formalized what had already happened in the hearts and minds of many. People spoke of the power that descended upon you and helped you save the wardstones from corruption and total destruction. Word of this feat quickly spread far beyond the borders of Mendev. There was no other person who could better fit the role of Knight Commander of the Fifth Crusade. I have some questions about my mission to retake Dresden. Of course, I shall answer. How did the demons manage to conquer Dresden? That's a good question. Its walls were built by dwarven craftsmen, and the power of the Sword of Valor protected the city. Alas, where raging hordes failed, a single lying tongue was all they needed to succeed. The demoness Menago convinced a young and ambitious crusader named Staunton Vane that the banner belonged on the battlefield. He went on a daring and unapproved raid, and the banner ended up in the enemy's hands. The city fell soon after. Ever since then, for 7 decades, it has served as a citadel for the forces of the Abyss. Staunton Vane, I saw him at the Great Garrison. He defected to the demon's side. Oh, really? I wasn't informed of this. Galfrey frowns. After Dresden fell because of Staunton, he was nearly sentenced to death. He deserved it. In wartime, men are hanged for far less. But you have no idea what a terrible sight it is. A raging crowd of crusaders baying for blood. Never have my fighters looked so much like the demons we are fighting. I commuted Staunton's sentence and stripped him of his rank, not just for him, but for my army and my country. We are not Hell Knights. We do not maintain discipline with public executions. I can't believe no one decided to punish him unofficially. Not in my army. The Queen's voice is like steel. I know too well that the armies of some kingdoms tolerate humiliation, beatings, and even murder. Their commanders imagine it brings their soldiers together and enforces discipline. Anyone who tries to introduce such rules in Mendev will face a tribunal, along with anyone who tries to shield them, even upper command. What forces are at my disposal? Everyone we saw today at the parade, first among them the Eagle Watch, who remain a powerful force thanks to Erebeth's resourcefulness. Also marching with you are several minor knightly orders, as the minor volunteer units like to be called. And finally, I have personally selected some recruits from Nerocean. They have little in the way of battle experience, but great determination and a thirst to prove themselves. I've always thought that an army benefits from at least one such unit. These forces, as I've said, are enough for a march on Dresden, but for a brave commander, and I hope you are one, that is just the beginning. If you retake Dresden, recover the holy power of the Sword of Valor, and gain a foothold in the region, the new armies will join under your banner. The Fifth Crusade is only beginning. Many battles and victories lie ahead. It has been decades and no one managed to retake the city. Why do you think we're different? We have a chance now that we haven't seen in decades, but it's more than that. You created this chance for us by foiling the demons' plans at Kenabris. The army who attacked the city came straight from Dresden. Demon hordes from the Abyss are usually encamped there, but many of them perished on the streets of Kenabris. We must attack swiftly before they can restore their forces. When the city is free and the Sword of Valor appears before our soldiers, they won't be sending in any more reinforcements. Demons cannot teleport into an area protected by the banner of the goddess. What about long-term goals? Do you know how to get rid of the world wound forever? Now you're talking like a real knight commander. The Queen nods in approval, then frowns. However, answering your question is not easy. To win this war, we must bar the demons' way. There are a few planar rifts leading to the Abyss across the territory we call the world wound. The best specialists we can find have tried to close them on separate occasions, with no success, as you may have guessed. The world wound is more than just a chain of portals to the Abyss. We do not understand its nature yet. The methods of rift closure known to magical science simply do not work here. However, we have a hypothesis, and a rather well-grounded one, that we must begin at the source of the problem, the place where the world wound was opened. The main rift lies through the city of Iz and the Threshold Fortress, deep in the former lands of Socorus. We have never managed to fight our way so far and gain a foothold to allow the mages to explore the origins of the world wound. So the next step after you succeed in Dresden is an offensive push deeper into the world wound with the aim of reaching Threshold, the very threshold of the Abyss. I have no more questions. Wonderful. Do you know that the souls of angels from heaven are confined in the Wardstone? A furrow forms in the Queen's brow. I had guessed as much. Many angels fought alongside us in the First Crusade. Heaven was unable to mobilize its full might to aid us, but individual celestials volunteered to fight for our cause. Then one day, they all vanished, saying that they were setting off on an important mission. Not long after, Iamede's herald erected the first wardstone in Kennebrest, and then the others in cities across Mendath. Even back then, I had nagging doubts, but my faith in Iamede easily assuaged them. It is for us to serve the goddess, after all, not to question her works. In any case, I am glad you did not allow the demons to commit sacrilege and gain control over the wardstone in Kennebrest. We might have lost one of the wardstones, but the chain is still standing. You should know I received an unusual gift in the caves beneath Kennebrest. In a vision, I saw the death of an angel called Lario. Somehow he was able to grant me the ability to reveal the light of heaven. Lario, I knew him. He disappeared shortly before the war wound grew, and Dresden fell into the enemy's hands. In the chaos, we had more important concerns than investigating the fate of a single angel, even one so righteous and beloved as Lario. And afterward, matters took a turn for the worse. The angels left us to go on their special mission. A smile, kind and sad, crosses the Queen's face. It is so strange to hear the names I used to hear when I was young, like getting a message from the past. It is sad news, but it brings me back to the times when we strongly believed in our victory and we rushed headlong toward it without fear. Could it be that such times have come again? Show the covenant of heaven. Do you remember this? The Queen's eyebrows shoot up in surprise. Wherever did you get this? I thought this relic was destroyed many years ago. How strange it is to see it whole again. At one time, it gave me hope. Queen Galfrey's hand twitches as if trying to reach the relic of its own accord, but the Queen stills its movement. I am pleased that this object will serve the crusade once more. I had a vision of Iamede giving her covenant to you. The Queen's lips flattened into a hard line. I was young and did not fully understand the magnitude of the duty that had been entrusted to me. Iamede gave me hope and strength to see me through the trials ahead, and in doing so she won my everlasting loyalty. Do you still remember the oath you swore in battle? Always. The Queen's gaze grows distant. No matter how arduous, no matter how dark the skies, no matter how much blood flows from my wounds, I shall stand with you. We shall fight for our loved ones and our friends, for the right to live and die free. We shall do everything we possibly can, and after that, we shall begin to do the impossible. And if the hour shall come when our arms can no longer raise our swords, our bodies will become a shield to cover those who still have the strength to fight. I, Galfrey, Queen of Mendath, swear this to you. This is my vow. That's a pretty nice vow. Gives me Green Lantern vibes. Nice. You withstood a blow from the traitor in that battle. I would proudly declare that to be true and say that even Aurelu Vorlesh could not kill me on our first attempt, but to do so would be boasting. I was protected by my goddess. However, I was glad to see that, no matter how great the traitor's power, it was nothing as compared to Iamede's might. Yeah, I'm not giving her the covenant of the inheritor. We're keeping that. I would like to keep wearing this relic. Then so you shall. What matters is that the covenant of the inheritor has been recovered. Perhaps it should be in your hands now because you have greater need of it. But should you ever feel that you no longer need this relic, I ask that you give it to me. I would be delighted to touch it again. In this playthrough, you never shall. And what are you going to do? Galfrey arches her brow. My immediate plans are to overlook a spot of insubordination. I don't like that. It forces you to word that ending statement in a way that displeases her. They don't even give you an option to just amicably move to a different subject. That's weird. However, I shall answer you. I shall prepare the defenses of Neurocyan and all the other border cities and plan the future of the Fifth Crusade. Does that satisfy your curiosity, Knight Commander? Let's see. So you have if you're going Angel and use that, you have the option of asking her to remain, and then the Aeon path. Does the Church of Iamede really spend so much effort prolonging your life, Queen, just so you can watch the battle from the rear? You're the living banner of the Crusades, and your duty is on the front lines. Interesting. Okay, so in both Aeon and Angel path, you have the option of asking Queen Galfrey to stay. We are not going to ask her to stay, because if she stays, she blocks you from doing a couple of evil things that I definitely want to try. Thank you for your reply. Of course, the task is clear. Splendid. Ah, yes. The Queen gives you an impish wink. We have one final matter to attend to. It should be rather enjoyable. Queen Galfrey. Count, there you are. You received my instruction? I did, though I did not have time to read the thing before I was dragged before your highness. In truth, I was readying myself to depart. No matter. I trust you will forgive your sovereign for the rather brusque summons, especially when you learn what prompted it. The queen makes a stately gesture in your direction. As you are aware, Samoysex has recently been appointed my knight commander of the Fifth Crusade. I spent a long while pondering who to appoint to the highly sensitive post of Commander's Field Attaché and Advisor Plenipotentiary without portfolio. Congratulations, Count. Darren's cool expression wavers, but he seems not to be fully cognizant of what is happening. That, or he is holding himself tightly in check. It is a great honor, I suppose. That's a great idea. I like having Darren around. I knew you would improve, Commander. The Queen bestows a smile on you, then brings her gaze to rest on Darren once more. I have my doubts about whether you're ready for such a responsibility, Count, but your conduct in Canterbury has put my mind at ease. So, you will travel with the troops to Dresden. Only the commander may remove you from your post, but I trust that you will dutifully fulfill his orders and make a good showing of yourself. Especially since word of your appointment, Count, will reach the court at any moment. All of Mendev's nobility will be following your successes in service to the nation, including all your devoted admirers. I even heard that one bard with whom you are particularly friendly has already begun composing a ballad to honor your heroic participation in the crusade and your faithful service to the commander here. So either you do this or you absolutely ruin your reputation among the nobility and all the people who are supposed to come to your parties. Even Darren doesn't care that little about how people feel about him. The Count offers a bow either as a sign of respect or in order to hide his flushed face. Only the bear's quiver can be heard in his voice. Your largesse truly knows no bounds, dear cousin. I am most gratified by the honor you have shown me. Then let's get going. May Iomedae help us. All right. But to do, you have the item Shiny Dagger, which is significantly better than your Masterwork Scythe. Oh, yeah, I know. I know. All right, yep, I can sell that. We can go ahead and sell that too. I don't know what all that is, but we can sell all that. Yep, selling all that. Sell that too. Save this. Alright, now we have to take a second pass through the camp. Anivia sweeps an inquisitive glance over you. So tell me straight, how'd that brawl at the Great Garrison end? I heard the rumors, of course. It's kind of my job, to listen. You've no idea what cobblers the Crusaders say about you. Some say that Iomedae came to you and pointed you her herald. Others say that you died, and an honest-to-God's angel is now leading the army disguised as you. Still others say it was just an explosion in an alchemist lab, and I'm the one spreading rumors about your powers. I wish. But you really have changed since the Great Garrison. It's hard to describe, but you've become kinda... Anivia waves her hand, trying to find the word. More dangerous? Yeah, exactly. More dangerous. I have a gut instinct about these things. If I did not already be dead. You're dangerous, Commander, and by Desna, I hope you'll be dangerous to our enemies and not to us. Or to yourself. I have to go. Alright, you watch yourself now. Okay. Now we go out here. And pay all my peeps a visit. I could use the army of mongrels you promised me. The huntress shrugs philosophically. Yes, they would be useful in this campaign. If we had more time, it didn't have to be in such a hurry. But we'd go to Saul, show him the trophies we took from the demons. He'd stop shaking the fear and summon the tribes. But, as I see it, we can't linger, right? We'll have to deal with Saul after we conquer Dresden. That's it. Alright. The huntress looks you in the eye with devotion. Thank you for talking to me, Master. Yeah. Logical. Alright, Erebeth. Commander, allow me to say something. Erebeth looks even more serious than usual. Before you, this wasn't a war. It was agony, drawn out over decades. No one believed in victory anymore. When the demons attacked the city, for some it was a relief. At least the end had come. They laid down their weapons and surrendered without a fight. I felt the same thing, but I somehow got through on stubbornness and the vague hope that if nobody found Anivia's body, she might by some miracle have survived. And that miracle was you. You returned my beloved to me when I nearly lost all hope of seeing her alive again. Then you went on a suicide mission to the Great Garrison and won the city back for us. You turned a defeat into a victory. I know it wasn't easy, but you make everything seem so effortless. You do everything just like that, she says with a snap of her fingers. The Queen believes in your powers too, but for me, they're just more proof of what I felt that day when I saw Anivia alive, standing next to you. You're the miracle we've been waiting for. You're the one who will finally put an end to this terrible war, and in spite of everything, deliver us the victory we so desperately needed. With you, I'm sure this crusade will achieve what others could not. I found a scabbard with your family name on it in the Great Garrison. Erebeth looks down. This scabbard held the Solemn Hour, my family sword. My father once fought with it, and I took it when I left home to become a paladin. Alas, it was not stolen. I parted with my heirloom willingly to help someone dear to me. Anivia needed expensive healing, and, having no other way to procure the money, I pawned my father's sword. I think he would have understood. I'm sure he would have given up everything to help the family. I hoped to redeem the Solemn Hour eventually, but there was never enough money, and soon the sword disappeared from the pawn shop altogether. I have no idea who took it. Seems like I have to part with my father's sword forever. Is Anivia sick? You'll forgive me if I don't go into detail. It is a private matter. Suffice to say, everything is fine now. The treatment was costly, but it was worth it. You had the Order's coffers at your disposal. How can you even suggest that? Erebeth lovingly traces the name imprinted in silver on the scabbard's leather. My parents were loyal servants, yet it wasn't enough to earn them a title or a coat of arms. Still, however humble our name might be, it is worth something. I don't know if I'll ever see the Solemn Hour again, but at least I have its scabbard back. Thank you. It's hard to believe your origin is so humble. You deserve a noble title more than many who inherit them. Erebeth's cheeks blush a little. Thank you, Commander. It is an honor to hear that, especially from you. Every noble family begins somewhere. You must have heard the recent story from the Stolen Lands and the River Kingdoms. Just imagine, coming from nowhere and making it all the way to a royal crown in just a few years. Sometimes I wonder what would happen if I managed to distinguish myself somehow, but then I push away such unworthy, selfish thoughts, of course. We don't fight for rewards. The fate of the world is at stake. And yet, Erebeth's blush deepens as she falls silent. So it turns out the Queen has a head of counterintelligence watching me. I wonder why. You think the Queen doesn't trust you? If that were true, she wouldn't have put you in charge of this army. My main task is to be your advisor until you've gained enough experience as a commander. As for counterintelligence, Anivia and I were tasked with keeping an eye on your inner circle. But you're not under suspicion, Commander. You're under our protection. I have to go. Erebeth says goodbye with a short bow. Okay, errand is complete. And yeah, for some reason, when you come back, even though you went through this with Erebeth, now you've got more stuff to pick up. Kind of weird, but hey, whatever, I'll take it.
We march ahead.
And Ember, do you have anything new? How are you handling your new abilities? Ember is bobbing her head and humming a tune. She greets you with a carefree, cheerful smile. Her wandering eyes linger on you for just a moment before darting off again to the distance. Abilities? The girl tilts her head to her shoulders. What are you talking about? Oh, the tricks you learned when the big gray house blew up? They're funny. Thanks for teaching them to me. The Queen gave me the title of Knight Commander and put me in charge of an army. What do you think about that? Nothing. The elf focuses her wondering look on you. Okay, there's something missing there. Smiles and shakes her head. Don't believe titles. All of us in the world are children of the street. Barefoot, hungry, scared. A step away from death. Some imagine they're strong and rich, like gods. But don't forget who you really are, behind the title. I have to go. So go. The elf watches you with a radiant smile as you leave. Alright. Nura. Knight Commander, how can I help? There's much as I can do, just ask. Nora looks at you with eyes filled with enthusiasm. She's holding a notebook and a traveler's inkwell. You've probably heard about the wound I have, the one that sometimes opens on my chest. Can you perhaps tell me if it is some kind of demonic curse? Yes, indeed, I've been told of your affliction. Nora appears at the center of your chest. Can you will the wound to open? No? That's a shame. What can you tell me about this wound? Well, it's difficult to say. I know of blades that leave never-healing cuts, of poisons that stop wounds from healing. I've heard of witches' curses that are rewarded with eternal wounds, but wounds that seem to reopen and heal over and over? Perhaps you know of other cases like this. Let's think. In 4671, a Medivan army corporal had all his bones and cartilage turned to glass. In 4700, a scribe in Kennebress had all her skin simply come away like she'd been boiled. And in 4638, oh, you don't happen to have insects crawling over you? Locusts? No. Rats, perhaps? Too bad. Nora looks at you with genuine regret. Do you think it's dangerous? It most likely is dangerous, but you are under the protection of Iyamade, Commander. She granted you mythic power, as they say. Surely the Inhabitor would not leave you to face this alone? Have you, perhaps, noticed that the wound opens at moments when you waver in your faith? Perhaps it is triggered by doubt. Frowning, Nora looks at you with sincere concern. Thanks for your answers. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you anything useful. I would be sure to study this matter and consult a few of my encyclopedias. Tell me about yourself. Oh my, I could tell you so many amazing things, and you choose the most boring one of all. But all right, about myself then. Where are you from? Isgar, a small piece of land that proudly calls itself a country, though it hasn't been independent for a single day in all the centuries it has existed. They have a lot of national pride, but all of it is borrowed, always looking to the great day when they can at last be free from the rule of Cheliax. The Isgari love talking politics. If two of them start bargaining over beats at the market, you can be sure that they'll end up arguing about whether an independent Isgar will be a monarchy or a republic. I've always found it funny to listen to, and a little disgusting. You see, there are a lot of us halflings in the country, but very few are citizens. Most are slaves. I was lucky. I've always been clever ever since I was little, so they sent me to school instead of making me do the grunt work. They taught me to count and write, and I was sold as a secretary to Lord Axelar, Tresbot. He's the one I left Isgar with, never to return, I hope. How did you come to serve Queen Galfrey? I was a slave of Lord Ascalar, Tresbot in Isgar, my homeland. Oh, what a man he was. He towered over his fellows like a rock over a garbage heap. A true hero. He bought me as a simple secretary, but he made me learn the history of the war wound. All of it. One volume after another. He hired tutors for me, even sent me to meet prominent historians. He didn't want a simple slave, but a slave with an impeccable education. Lord Tresbot was going on a crusade. He firmly believed that the servants of the good gods were weak, and only a follower of Asmodeus could stand against the demon invasion. He took me along as a secretary or historian, and, most importantly, he entrusted me with recording his glorious story for future generations. In his crusade, Lord Tresbot performed many brave feats, but even he could not stand against the war wound alone. In his final battle with the demons, when my lord realized he was doomed, his final act was to cover my retreat so that I could tell the world of his great deeds. Some people have said what he did was not heroic, just an arrogant moron puffing himself up one last time, but I say curse their tongues. And my difficult journey ended in Mendev, where I found my freedom. There, I pushed Lord Tresbot's biography, and, I don't want to boast, but, who am I kidding? Of course I do. The book sold in great numbers and made me rather famous for a time. That's what brought me to the Queen's attention. She invited me to her court. After all, she was curious about my deceased lord, and she was in great need of an expert on the history of the war wound. I hope you'll find me useful as well. So you're not just a historian, but a writer too. Will you write a book about my crusade? Why not? As soon as we finish off the demons, I'll get right to it. Just take care that you don't end up like Lord Tresbot. Do you worship any deity? She makes a wry face. When I was a slave in Isgar, they would beat me with a stick to force me into believing in Asmodeus. They hit me and said it was for my own good. Ever since then, I don't like temples. I realize there are different gods like Desna or Caden who teach goodness and freedom, but it's just, as soon as I smell frankincense, I see the slave driver's stick. Maybe one day I'll be able to turn to a deity without cringing from a blow for not being reverent enough. But for now, let others pray for me. Nora's smile trembles and collapses. Nora wanted to add something, but decided to let the painful subject drop because I failed the perception check. It's value 20. I need to roll next to the line. I rolled a 1. Oh, well, that is what it is. Thank you for your answers. You're welcome, but you should ask me about something more interesting. Tell me the history of the war wound. Oh, I could talk about that for hours. What exactly do you want to know? Tell me about old Socorus. It was an unforgiving country inhabited by numerous tribes of Kellet barbarians. Imagine Numeria but without the Metal Mountains, or the realm of the Mammoth Lords, but with a milder climate. That's Socorus. The country was ruled by priests of forgotten deities and shamans. It's said that even back then, before the world wound, the boundary between the worlds was especially thin in this region. Since ancient times, Iscarius had his claws sunk deep into the minds of the locals. His cults thrived here for many centuries. Aradin tried to stamp them out, but in the end, of course, he passed away. How did the world wound come to be? It happened the year Aradin died, 4606, a little over a century ago. No one knows if the time was coincidental or if there's some connection with Aradin's death, but I'll tell you what we do know. The priests and shamans who ruled Socorus hated arcane magic and all who practiced it. Wizards and sorcerers were driven from the land, or worse. One of their prisoners held a witch named Aralu Vorlesh. We know nothing about her besides her name and, of course, the atrocities she committed. By some unknown method, she managed to harness the terrible power of the demon lord Tiscari. Together, they tore open the barrier between worlds, opening a rift to the abyss in the very middle of Socorus. The world wound slowly but mercilessly expanded, devouring more and more land. In a matter of years, Socorus was a memory. After a moment of silence, Nora adds softly, "Sometimes I think, what did they do to Aralu in that prison? Just imagine. She was ready to give herself to the abyss. If only the demons might devour her torturers along with her. To imagine such hatred, it terrifies me." Tell me about the First Crusade. It began in 4622. Yes, it took the church and the secular authorities nearly 2 decades and hundreds of thousands of lives before they decided to take action. In the meantime, Socorus was only supported by handfuls of volunteers. By the time the crusade began, the demons had already invaded Mendav. The crusaders pushed them back, and what must have seemed a total triumph at the time. The forces of good easily crushing the demons on all fronts. They erected Dresden on the lands they conquered, an indestructible fortress and the capital of the Crusader movement. In 4630, 8 years after it began, the First Crusade was declared victorious. It was the first triumph of the Crusaders, and, unfortunately, the last. Tell me about the Second Crusade. In 4638, the world wound suddenly started expanding, and a new wave of demons appeared. The Crusaders were all but delighted. Last time, they'd routed the forces of the Abyss, and they welcomed another chance to prove themselves. But this time, everything was different. Instead of scattered gangs, they faced a large and organized army. Dresden was besieged, and the Crusaders lost all the lands they won back before. They had to retreat, and all that remained of Socorus was left to the demons. But while the monsters were devouring the unprotected lands, the Crusaders erected a chain of ward stones along the border with the world wound. We have Iomedaea and her herald to thank for their help. It was the Second Crusade's only victory, but it halted the wound's growth. The catastrophe had become a stalemate at the cost of tremendous sacrifice. Tell me about the Third Crusade. About 50 years after the opening of the world wound, Tiscari found an ally. Baphomet entered the war, a cunning, insidious demon lord who prefers deception to open conquest. He sets his enemies against each other and lures the virtuous onto the path of wickedness. Traitors appeared among the Crusaders, secret agents of his cult. For a time, no one suspected a thing, even as they watched helplessly as the Crusader movement fell to ruin. Where once valor proudly stood, now greed and dumb cruelty reigned, and outrage was drowned in apathy. In 4665, the church announced a new crusade, hoping to boost morale. They didn't succeed, to put it mildly. Some fought the demons in earnest, and for a time they even dared to hope to retake Dresden. But the Third Crusade would be remembered as a witch hunt in every sense. Inquisitors hoped to purge any cultists from the ranks of fighters, but instead they got a barrage of denunciations, widespread suspicion, and innocent victims. It sometimes happened that two orders would denounce each other as traitors and wipe each other out, much to the demons' delight. Just 3 years later, in 4668, the church put the disgrace to an end. Of all the crusades, that one was the least glorious. Tell me about the Fourth Crusade. Of course, the demons had no intention of sitting quietly caged behind the ward stones. They kept attacking Kennebrus, trying to reach the stone to destroy it. or just scratch its surface, or if even that wasn't possible, befoul it. The Crusaders drove the demons away from the city again and again. The Fourth Crusade would last 15 years, an exhausting study in positional warfare. The demons attacked and they were pushed back. The Crusaders went on the offensive but were forced to retreat, and all the while the losses were tremendous. The Fourth Crusade's only achievement was that they didn't let a single wardstone fall. They didn't retake a sliver of land, to say nothing of Dresden. So many lives just to maintain the stalemate. You can imagine how that affected morale. Thanks for your answers. My pleasure. You just have to remember to stop me or I'll go on about it forever. I have to go. If you have any questions, come back. All right. Very interesting. Now let's continue searching around a little more. Make sure none of these crates or anything. Oh, wait, here we go. Ah, boy, there you are. Very good, just in time. You will be delighted to know that I need you for an experiment. So, the Great Garrison stands roofless. Demons are running for the hills with their tails between their legs. Mendev's queen, what's her name? It's on the tip of my, yes, Galfrey, is scurrying to and fro, and all this is somehow connected to you, my loyal follower. Thus far, there is no scientific evidence of your exceptionality, if one discounts blind faith and divine intervention, which I do. We, people of science, refuse to believe in the inexplicable without any proof. We are the ones who explain the inexplicable. Nenio punctuates her statement with an energetic sweep of her arm. And therefore, open your mouth and say "ah" for me. Sure, open my mouth, say "ah." Nenio peers into your mouth with a practiced eye. Alright, your throat's fine, tongue looks perfectly normal, your breath, she sniffs. The smell is in line with the regular function in the digestive system. Now for your teeth. She sticks one hand in your mouth and probes each of your teeth in turn with the skill of a seasoned dentist. No detectable alterations. Each tooth? Good lord. By the way, did you know that many individuals, while being wholly civilized representatives of their races, still have an amazingly powerful bite? As if suddenly recalling something, Nenio promptly pulls her hand out of your mouth. Are you really trying to find a correlation between fang length and civility? Nenio seems slightly embarrassed. For the good of science, I look for correlations everywhere and in everything. How can you prove there's no correlation if you don't bother to look for one? With teeth like mine, I should know. Nenio casts a puzzled glance at you, but then quickly nods. Ah, yes, you're a Dhampir. Field research has shown that a Dhampir's bite will turn an individual neither into a vampire nor into another Dhampir. Unfortunately, the average bumbler on the street prefers to believe idle speculation rather than scientific fact. Moving on. All right, what do we have next? Ears. Let's check your hearing. Testing. Nenio yells right into your ear and nods in satisfaction. She observes your reaction. Your hearing is fine. It was fine. But don't worry, it's scientifically proven that it should return to normal soon. Next, Nenio circles you. Eyes are clear, posture satisfactory, limb length is standard, no lice. She stops, rubs her chin in contemplation, and, in a slightly dejected tone, says, Boy, you are the picture of health. It's a pity. I was expecting to find some anomaly. Well, now let's assess your mental state. Imagine a hypothetical situation. You are a tree. 2 squirrels have found their way into your hollow and are now copulating there. What do? These hypothetical questions are insane. I have no idea how to get something from them. Let's see. Let them copulate. Why should I care? Copulate. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Copulate, I think it is. Let them copulate. Why should I care? An unconscious act of good. Not really, but okay. Allowing 2 lesser creatures to procreate while protecting them during this crucially important process. On to the next question. Another hypothetical situation. You are a tomato. You have just been picked from the vegetable patch and put into a crate. You know that today the cook will use half of the tomatoes from your crate to make soup. What do? No, I'm not helpless. I'm not going to say there's nothing I can do. I try to dig deeper into the crate. An unconscious act of rejecting the unspoken rules and laws underpinning the functioning of the universe. Yes, it is all quite clear to me. An absence of any desire to obey anyone, in addition to kindness and concern for the weak and powerless, your reasoning is like that of an Izada. On that note, I deem this experiment complete. Thank you for your participation. Nanio looks at you pensively and then gestures at you with a wide sweep of her arm. And yet you remain a puzzle to me. I love puzzles. One of these days I will solve you completely. Unless I forget. My Lich is chaotic evil. And he loves fun. He's basically like Darren if he was a Lich. So people copulating in his presence, he's not going to stop it. By all means, carry on. I'll make you undead as soon as you get through. Now I have time to answer your questions. Come on, ask away. I have nothing. I have to go. Excellent. All right. That is done. Something to pick up here. Cold iron. Nothing else. Boom. Da-da-da-da-da. All right. Got all that. Grandma, you got anything else to say? Finally, a serious dramatic piece in our hands. Let's see. The knight is so absorbed in reading the letter that he takes no notice of you or anything around him. He smiles and seems like he's about to kiss the paper. I wonder when we see a real battle. Everything so far has just been a warm-up. What does Sela call us? The League of the Inspiring Cart? I wish we could set up an official knightly order with that name. Oh, Curl. Sela looks anxious. She's holding her sword, but her movements seem nervous. The girl doesn't even notice you at first, but when she does, she smiles cheerlessly and stops what she's doing. Hello, so, what do you reckon about everything that's come crashing down on us? All the responsibility, command, this new power. This is what I was born for. I envy your confidence, in a good way. It's great to believe that everything is going the way it should. I'm still frightened by what happened in the Great Garrison. Were we really chosen by Ayamade herself? You know, back when I was a snot-nosed kid who just started down the path to becoming a paladin, I imagined once or twice I was going to do something heroic. The lights would shine down on me, the trumpets would sing, and I'd hear the voice of the goddess, or at least her herald, you know? I'd be informed that I had been chosen for a great cause, but that's the point where my imagination always failed me. Somehow, it really happened, without all the trumpets or the herald or even anyone explaining what I had to do. Though it's clear as day, my place is here in this demon-ridden wound. Quite a lovely war going on, in fact. Endless, I hear. I'm going to need some time to wrap my head around this. Sela sighs, then last week. Spare me an hour, and I'll crawl into some dark corner and whine about my hard lot. What can I tell you? I cry easily. Thank you for speaking with me. Until next time. Sela smiles. See you. Ah, Sela. Unfortunately, we won't be friends this playthrough for much longer. But such is life, such is life, such is life. Let's go in here. Who's in here? These same two guys. Pick that up. Pick that up. And pick that up. Alright. Okay. Quick save there. Aaron. There you are, my dearest commander. So, how do you like your new role, advisor? Darren winces. Hey, you also enjoy poking me with that stick, don't you? Imagine it, me, a crusader. If my dearest cousin hoped to teach me a lesson, she managed it perfectly. An assignment I couldn't avoid without losing face. This idiotic journey leading straight into the demon's maws. I could have been on a pleasure boat right now with the loveliest songstress in Patax on my arm and a bottle of the finest Kyonan wine to keep us company. Did you also receive a fraction of that unusual power? Looks like it. I genuinely hoped that getting away from you would be the end of it. If your gift truly did come from Ayamade, then giving me a smidgen of that power was a very subtle joke on her part. I had no idea that our divine Lightbringer Mendev even had a sense of humor. Don't get me started on my many acts of sacrilege against her. That obscene engraving, the truth about the test of the Starstone, is the tamest one by far. All right, I should go. Goodbye. Collect all of that, and right, I already went in there, so now I go here. A young cleric stands before an easel, his brush hovering over the canvas without touching it. Instead of painting, the young man absent-mindedly gazes at the sky of Kennebrez, which is still streaked with towering plumes of black smoke. Finally, he notices you and smiles, shaking off his stupor. Hello again. I am very pleased to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. It's a pity I wasn't there at the Great Garrison to witness your feats of strength with my own eyes. The flash, however, could be seen miles and miles away. Some people were frightened of it, thinking that the demons had blown up the remains of the keep. I, for one, knew immediately that it was a good sign. The light above the city showed us that there was still hope. Who are you, and how could you possibly be of use to my army? My name is Socio Vanek. I am a cleric of Shellen, the eternal rose and the goddess of beauty. Yes, I know that many people would consider me useless in a war. Socio smiles with embarrassment. This is not an unusual war, though. Just consider our enemy. The Abyss and his demons are the very embodiment of everything evil and ugly in the world. Perhaps a disciple of kindness and beauty might come in handy. I have no doubt that we will win this war, Commander. We just have to. It is our destiny. My role is to help you, and all those standing by your side in this struggle to survive and flourish. Everyone deserves a chance to find peace and happiness in the world that they are defending so selflessly. What are you painting? The cleric's eyes linger mournfully on the canvas. The unfinished painting depicts a temple crowned with a rainbow-tailed bird, the symbol of Shellen. 5 people dressed in robes stand before the temple. Men and women, young and old, they all gaze back at you with radiant happiness and joy in their serene eyes. My brothers and sisters in faith, they sent me for help, and then the cleric shakes his head in sorrow. They saved my life, Commander. If the prioress hadn't ordered me to escape the city and seek help, I would have died right along with them. Instead, I met Queen Galfrey on my way to Neuroscience and hurriedly returned to Kennebrez, only to find my friends dead on the steps of our desecrated temple. Cecil touches the edge of the canvas gently, as if patting a friend's shoulder in consolation. I want to draw them the way they live on in my memory. Wise, beautiful, and loyal both to their goddess and their city to the very end. This is why you have to treasure every moment you spend with the ones you love. Today you're together, but who knows what tomorrow may bring. I hope you'll last longer than your brethren when the real battle begins. No, I don't feel the need to be cruel. I do believe in love and companionship. When I make my lawful evil Hell Knight, he'll be the real jerk who says this is all useless. There's no such thing as family. You're right. I took their company for granted and never even imagined that they might just disappear in the blink of an eye. So many words left unspoken. Socio sighs heavily. Now it's my duty to make sure my friends and tutors did not die in vain. I will honor their sacrifice by making this world a bit more beautiful and kind. What made an artist enlist in the army? Perhaps I am a true artist, or simply an amateur who defaces canvases in my spare time. My goddess is a patron of art, so painting is part of my prayer, and I put all my heart into my pieces. But I am a cleric above all else, so I must also tend to others. I went to war because here's where I'm most needed. Sure, I could be painting idyllic landscapes and offering empty prayers to my goddess, but that won't stop people from dying. My goddess has no tolerance for false piety. You wanted to discuss something with me, right? Yes, I have a personal request. Before we undertake our journey and leave Kennebrez behind, I would like to visit the martyr Zacharias' cemetery for a funeral. It's not far from here, and it is important. I would like to pay my respects to my friends from the Temple of Shellen who died defending the city. Also, if it's not too much trouble, I would like you to come with me to honor their memory. Their friends and family would be at the funeral, and perhaps the commander's personal presence will bring them comfort. Yeah, no problem. I know that you are burdened by many cares right now, so I understand if you can't find the time. But if you could, I would be sincerely grateful. It was nice meeting you. Now I have to go. You must be rather busy indeed. Leading crusade all by yourself is no joke. I still believe that you are up to the task. This war has been raging for 100 years, but you have given us a chance of victory. Okay. I think there's a secondary conversation with him, but I can get that after I do his quest. Alright, almost finished. Commander, a tall man with piercing yellow-green eyes gives you a brief nod. Let me personally congratulate you on your new title and thank you for your time in advance. I am Leotor Hawkblade, an inquisitor of the Church of Iamadei, the bringer of light. I require your assistance in a certain delicate matter involving one of your companions, young Count Darren Arende. What brings you here? I ask you to assist the Church of Iomedae in an investigation of the utmost importance. I understand that the leader of the crusade has plenty of other matters to attend to. Please allow me to tell you the details. Perhaps it will explain why I'm calling upon you. The Inquisitor's open face instantly reveals his feelings. He frowns and looks through you, lost in his thoughts for a moment. I suppose that you have already heard about Count Arenday's story. I refer to the tragedy at the Heaven's Edge estate. Tell me what happened at Heaven's Edge. About 10 years ago, several powerful demons managed to penetrate the Wardstone barrier and commit mass murder of all the guests who attended the feast in celebration of young Darren's birthday. The unknown magical disease they had brought wiped out the whole estate in less than a day. That was not a unique case in itself. The demons had attempted such raids on Mendevian lands before, but they had never dared target such a well-protected place. The Arenday family was exceptionally rich. The estate was protected by elite bodyguards. There were several strong and righteous paladins among the guests. Moreover, the revered Nestrin, Darren's tutor, was one of the most powerful priests of Iomedae in the vicinity. All of them died, nonetheless, except for the young count, who had suddenly manifested his outstanding sacred healing powers. Was that a divine miracle or a curse? That remains to be seen. You're going to investigate this old case again, aren't you? Yes, I am. I have several reasons to doubt the widely shared account of what exactly happened at that estate and how it happened. You see, Commander, I was among those sent to examine the estate after the incident. I saw everything with my own eyes, and I still remember it clearly, even though it feels like it happened a lifetime ago. Heaven's Edge was a unique place that still carried the spirit of old Mendev before the war wound. And yet on that day it turned into a labyrinth house of horrors, like something only seen in our nightmares. Apologies for the digression. I wanted to tell you about my suspicions. Everything about the incident seemed odd. Why was the only person left alive a young boy with a newfound talent for divine magic? Why did nobody send to Kenabris for help, even though the agony spanned many hours? We found the demons dead, with the heads cut off, when we got into the estate. How were they defeated? How did the disease kill even the paladins present at the estate, who are said to be immune to any disease? If the demons have found a way to penetrate the Holy Warrior's defenses, why has this never been repeated since the tragedy at Heaven's Edge? You are the only person who can help me here, Commander, because the only living witness of those events is currently serving in your army. Your army's route will take you near the very site of the tragedy. Heaven's Edge has been abandoned and sealed with potent magic throughout all these years, and only the Count has the power to break that seal. He is unlikely to invite an Inquisitor inside, and in any case he won't like me sniffing around his family seat. But if you, as his commander, express your wish to visit the estate, he will be obliged to fulfill it, and I will simply follow you as one of your attendants. There are 100 ways, 1,000 paths, and myriad loopholes in human lives that the forces of evil can use to their advantage. I am not sure which of those led to the demons to the gate of Heaven's Edge, but I do know it wasn't a simple raid, the kind faced by crusaders face every day. That incident involved a significantly more powerful entity, and that is why I'm asking for your help. We cannot be sure that such a tragedy will not happen again until we uncover the truth. You've already been to the estate several times. What do you expect to find now? I was a young and inexperienced Inquisitor when I first visited Heaven's Edge 10 years ago. My skills have improved significantly since then, and I have paid dearly for that. Leotor makes a vague gesture, pointing at his scars. My arsenal includes many spells and techniques dedicated to gathering information about people and events. Almost all of them require me to be physically present in the place where the event in question happened. This is why I must return to Heaven's Edge. Why can't you just search the estate yourself without involving me? The estate is abandoned and sealed with powerful containment enchantments that only the Count himself can lift. That is not the main reason, however. The main reason is that Count Arenday is not officially under investigation by the Inquisition, so I couldn't just break into his house even if I found a way to bypass the spells. This is a serious matter, Leotor frowns. A matter that threatens the reputation of the entire Church of Iomedae and my own organization in particular. We made more than enough unforgivable mistakes during the Third Crusade and are still dealing with their consequences. Your presence will give my investigation the necessary legitimacy, Commander, but there is more. In addition to getting official permission, I'd also like to bring an independent third-party investigator to this case. Someone independent but well-respected, and you fit this role perfectly. Did you question Darren himself? I did, but the Count insisted he couldn't remember anything about the incident due to severe shock. He saw the demons at the very beginning when they appeared at the celebration to announce the onset of the plague and mock their victims. He also witnessed the death of his mother, Countess Selena. That was all he would tell me. Leotor pauses. We had found the young count sleeping like a log on the floor in one of the rear chambers, having drunk about half the family wine cellar all by himself. There is no reason to disbelieve him on that matter. So you suspect that Darren is hiding something, that he is to blame for the tragedy. I deliberately refuse to entertain any theories or suspicions so that it doesn't affect the investigation. There's a saying among my colleagues that suspicion is the mother of prejudice, and prejudice is married to failure. I can only tell you that Count Araday wasn't suffering from demonic possession, the most common malaise in our country at the time. Prelate Harron himself examined the boy right after the tragedy and didn't sense anything awry with him. Fine, I will help you. What do you need me to do? Leotor bows his head to you with exceptional reverence. Thank you, Commander. Now I ask you to speak to the Count and tell him that you wish to see at Heaven's Edge. Please do not inform him of my presence right away. I will join your escort when it's time to travel to the estate. When we get there, I will also require your help during the investigation. You will have to follow me, observing my actions as an independent witness. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask me. I will remain here for a while. I would like to... Right, no more questions about that. Tell me about yourself, Inquisitor. I want to know who I'm dealing with. I am Ulfin by birth, but I have lived in Mendev for most of my life, dedicating myself to the service of the Inheritor. My warrior brethren mostly worship Gorum, but I've never been eager to fight for the sake of battle alone. I was a good fighter in my early youth and could easily best most of my peers, but I didn't enjoy showing off my skills. Victory is bland on its own. Purpose adds flavor to war. I can't say that I've always been faithful sword of Iomedae. Back in my mercenary days, fate brought me to the borders of Mendev, where I spent quite a long time among the Crusaders, fighting shoulder to shoulder with my righteous comrades in arms, and watching demons commit their atrocities eventually led to something I have been seeking my whole life, purpose and faith. That is how I found my calling. Even though it made me hard at times, I've never regretted my decision. Are you one of Prelate Harron's followers? Leotor's face freezes for a moment, but he nods. Yes, of course. What is your opinion on his atrocities? Leotor is silent for a while. Usually people revel such things about themselves only to their confessor, not to some curious stranger. Still, I did ask for your help, and that imposes certain obligations upon me. Let me put it like this. I spent enough years by Prelate Harron's side to learn how to keep him from going over the line. He was an extraordinary man, the vengeful sword of our goddess in human form. He was fighting in the vanguard, fearlessly taking down demons, exposing the cultist plots all by himself. He served the Inquisition twice as long as I have, and eventually his own paranoia and monumental sense of responsibility eroded his mind. May Iomedae guard his soul. I have to go. All right.
Without a doubt.
There you are, my dearest commander. I'd love to visit Heaven's Edge and see the Araday estate someday. Oh, I was just about to mention it myself. I've been thinking, now that I'm in the middle of this whole crusade nonsense, I simply must devise new ways to have fun. With all the recent commotion, my birthday completely slipped my mind. What if we were to celebrate it at Heaven's Edge? It's not far from here, and you'll get to enjoy a banquet in a bona fide haunted house. Darren seems to have trouble getting the words out, which clearly indicates how rarely he has to ask for anything. Since you're my superior and I'm your advisor, I'm obliged to ask your permission to leave for the festivities. And I want to invite you, too. I'm sure the commander can free up an afternoon while the soldiers are on leave. All right, deal. Perfect. You'll have a ball. I'll make sure of it. Something strange flickers in Darren's smile. All right, I should go. Goodbye. And then,
I will guide us.
I guess I don't even have to let Leotor know, but I'll do it anyway. Commander, do you wish to talk to me? I'll talk to Darren about the estate. He is going to celebrate his birthday at Heaven's Edge, so we can go there as guests. A celebration? That is far from ideal. It will be rather inconvenient for me to conduct the investigation with all the guests around. Thank you, nonetheless, Commander. When you decide to go to the estate, I will join you. Excellent. Woljif gives you a friendly wave. Hey, Chief, want to talk? What do you think of your new powers? Woljif pauses to think, rubbing his chin. You mean what you did back there? I have a few ideas. We could send you to a Pitax underground arena to fight. Give you a scary name like Swift Sting or something like that. Give you a great cover story. Enemies burned down on your house. You are avenging your dead family. The public eats that stuff up. You wear a shiny eye-catching outfit or a black one if you like back better. We split the prize money, 60-40, 60 for me, of course. You know arranging fights isn't easy. These people are tough. I'll be taking more risks than you. And after we set up in Pitax, we'll tour different cities, make some real money. What do you like the sound of that? Don't you have any other suggestions? Woljif grins, his yellow eyes lighten up. I got one more. Have you heard of Razmarin? It's some land in the River Kingdoms ruled by King Razmir. A friend of mine used to live in Razmarin. He got out of there as fast as he could. Long story short, this King Razmarin of theirs is a god. He keeps his people under his heel. They're all terrified of what he might do. He sits on his throne wearing some white mask, giving power to anyone. Come and take power from me, he says, so long as you believe in me. Woljif quickly checks that no one is eavesdropping. But that friend of mine, the one who fled, has a half-sister on his old man's side who's a cook in the castle and a washerman who the cook plays cards with in the evenings told her a juicy rumor. Word is, Razmir isn't really god at all. He's got no powers. So here's my point. You do have powers. Pretty scary ones too. We'll find some shabby little kingdom. I'll start some rumors. We'll show off a few tricks to follow the Wolverines, and that's it. We'll make you a deity. But first I want you to put it in writing that I'll be your chief advisor. I'm not doing anything just on the road, on the nod. I've been there. People promise you mountains of gold, and then when it comes to it, they're all, get lost, or I'll set the dogs on you. So do you like the idea? Chaotic. It's a great idea. We'll get to work on it just as soon as we get out of this mess. Woljif rubs his hands, pleased. I'm going to make you such a loving you'll love it. A survivor in Canterbury becomes a god. We'll make you a cult that'll put Iamades to shame. In the meantime, you can think about what you want on your coins. And my insurance. Don't forget to write that declaration making me your chief advisor. Let me check the Thiefling connections again just to be sure. Oh yeah, they do have more. Interesting. A Wand of Haste. That's nice. What's Crushing Despair? -2 penalty on attack rolls. That's awesome. All creatures in a... nice wands. Very nice wands. Okay. Robe of Inevitability. This robe grants... Oh, yes. Definitely want that. +2 penetration for the robe. We will take that. Oh, Potion of Remove Curse. I think we already have a couple of scrolls of Remove Curse, though, so we're good on that. And we're not going to buy armor stuff yet, unless this +2 pattern armor grants the wielder 10 resistance against fire and electricity. And it's got an 8 max dexterity, which means it would be great on your pets. All right. Thank you. Horgus Gorham has been expecting you, thumb stuck in his belt. There you are. I've been waiting. As you see, I too have joined the crusade. I don't know how to swing the sword, but war's costly and I have money. Besides, my intellect and business sense may prove useful, even on the battlefield. Besides, I believe... Horgus shifts awkwardly from foot to foot. I believe I owe you an apology. Amulet of Blackened Mirror. The way I behaved was rude, ill-mannered. You are an honest and honorable person. You have clawed your way up from the bottom of society to the title of Knight Commander, and you are friends with Queen Galfrey herself. Such persistence deserves respect. Horgus tilts his head in a brief acknowledgement of your merits. Please allow me to give you this magic amulet from my humble personal treasury, to mark our future cooperation. I asked that already. I'm not worried about whether or not he's worried about revealing the secret. Have you decided to support the Crusades now? With all due respect, that's none of your business. I have my reasons. Perhaps I felt a rush of patriotism when Canterbury was destroyed. Anyway, why would you think I never supported the Crusaders? Perhaps I simply don't like to brag about my donations. Ostentatious charity only attracts beggars. I'd wager that Erebeth has no idea whose money she's spending on drinks and supplies. Why did you hide the fact that Camellia is your daughter? Didn't I tell you this at the mansion? It's because her mother, Iris, was a... Yeah, we all know this. Yeah, we had that. Oh, how did Camelia's mother die? Horgus pieces you with a long, heavy stare. I'm not going to tell you about that. Some things ought to remain private. Are you acquainted with the Count Darren Arenday? Of course I am. He's a brilliant young man with a brilliant pedigree, and that story of his. The nobility is the glue that keeps our society together. I suppose that is why demons so often chose their estates as primary targets. Who would notice a demon's bloody massacres if they only slaughtered poor country folk? The Arenday family shared the tragic plight of the Worms. Along with many other members of the nobility, they fell victim to a treacherous attack during a major celebration taking place at their family estate. I had received an invitation and was slightly insulted by the snub, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise. The gods saved me from a terrible fate. All the guests died that day from a magical demonic disease. I sympathize with the Count deeply. He has endured so much, and it's no wonder he keeps himself aloof from me. I think this is due to the fact that Horkus Gorm's fate so resembles his own, and we both have to relive those horrible memories whenever we see each other. I have to go. All right. And then final convo. The neat smile on Camilla's lips disappears so quickly you almost wonder if you imagine it. What do you think of the powers you received from me? Camilla shrugs nonchalantly. People of noble descent grow accustomed to ample opportunity. The powers I receive from you are useful, but I see no point in treating them with excessive piety. I have to go. We'll talk later. I won't keep you. Alright. Now, first and foremost, let's make sure we're loaded up properly. I got a better scythe, even though I almost never use it. And he's got a shiny dagger. Where are you, Woljif? Both masterwork, right? So it doesn't matter. There we go. And then armor. Does this armor help you? Hey, it does. This is better than what you have. And then where is... Socio can't use heavy armor yet, right? And none of this is magic, so we won't hold on to it. What's this? Belt of 2 dexterity? We'll let you take that window out. What's this? Whenever the wearer of this amulet uses a hex, its DC is increased by 1. Well, we know what that should go to. Well, actually, right, because Camille's amulet can't be taken off, right? Yeah, she's stuck with that. Amulet of natural armor, she can't take that either. Can her pets take that? Yeah, okay, so pets can take an increase in natural armor. Cloak resistance. Yeah, she's got one of +1. We'll take +2. Woljif can take the +1. Okay. And then, in addition to all that, ascending order. I had a robe. Penetration. When I cause fear, let there be no question. Right. So, who else? Nanio. Ooh. Oh, that did change the look. There we go. Now she looks like a proper wizard. Fantastic. Okay. Alright, that changes all of that. Save again. Wilshire Arms. This man's face looks like it's been forged from copper. His deep wrinkles darken with the soot of hundreds of battles and thousands of campfires. His bald head is covered with a dozen scars, and the gray, bristly beard on his chin is the color of ash. He sizes you up lazily and creaks like a dry, rusted hinge. Wilson Garms, at your service. What do you want? You're not very polite. Sorry, your commandership. The old man shrugs lazily. He doesn't allow himself to show open impudence, but you don't sense much respect in his voice either. We're simple folk here, never been to any academies, never learned any manners. We'll tell it like it is, report in due form, so to speak. Nah, we're not having that. Lawful intimidate. How dare you address your superior like that? Up. Stand at attention and answer properly. With these words, the old soldier is instantly transformed. It is as though a different man stands before you, eager to please, fit, a full 5 inches taller than before. Aye, Commander, whatever you want, we will obey. Say the word and we're at it. Coughing nervously, he reaches into his pocket. And if any line of thieving going on, don't you believe them demons. Everything's right here, all accounted for. I just hid it from those lousy thieves to be sure to come to you. Wear it well. He hands you a shiny object wrapped in a dirty rag. Tell me about yourself. Me? Well, my father was a carpenter, you know. All right when he was sober, but not when he was in his cups. He'd hit me with anything he'd lay a hand on. A board, a log, even a hammer. So I ran away before he killed me. Joined up with the army. At least there was free food. For the Crusades, you know. That was 2 wars back during the 3rd one. We're always at war, though. Crusade or no. I was a little snot back then, but I got by well enough. They didn't trust me with a sword. Until the rats poured out the abyss and 2 of every 3 got cut down and the blood in me slicked the ground. Every fighter counted then. We fought them all somehow and got to break away. Then we fought them in the Sarkonian Steppe and in the Stone Wilds and Frostmire. I've been over half the wound on foot. And after I got older, they found me this job. Wanted to put me out to pasture, but what'd I do with myself? Share the bench with the village clowns? I just drink myself to death if I was made a civilian again. This place keeps me busy. Supplying the fighters is a full-time job. If you've a need, say. I might have it. Show me what you have. All right. I never buy this, but I really should. Well, I'm definitely not buying it now. Anything here, anything here. Ooh, composite longbow, +2. Definitely need that. Yeah, we're taking that. Oh, we can give Woljif another +1 dagger. No, we're not going to do that. Actually, we could though, we could. Ooh, flaming 2-bladed sword. No, we're not doing that. You already got a glaive +1, right? No, you just got a regular glaive, so we'll get you a glaive +1. Boom, 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 boom. Don't need that. Longsword +1. What's she using? This is mace +1, right? 312 and all that, yeah. Rapier +1, scimitar +1, scythe +1. Ooh, scythe +2. Whenever this +2 scythe lands a hit, it deals its weapon damage to all adjacent enemies. Interesting. Didn't I get a buckler relic? I swear I thought I did. Isn't that what old boy the storyteller said, that he unlocked a relic, a buckler for me? I don't see it anywhere though. What's this? This symbol of Iomedae, when placed on the belt, emits a holy aura. Oh, this is the covenant thing. All party members. They made it look like a cat because they don't have the right art for it yet. All party members in a 30-foot area get a +2 bonus to caster level checks made to overcome spell resistance. Their weapons become good aligned and count as if they were made of cold iron. That's crazy. That's insane. Hold on. Yo. Oh, man. You know, so I've been doing good playthroughs, giving this to her to try to make her feel better about me. Psst. Even a good playthrough, I'm keeping that from now on. Holy smokes. You ain't getting that back, girl. All right, moving right along. Full plate, +1. You got a half plate of vigor, but it's a +2 enhancement, so it's still good for you. Mithril. Well, this doesn't help anybody. Padded armor. Camping supplies and rations. I thought I was supposed to get it. There's supposed to be another bag of holding somewhere around here. Maybe not. Interesting. All right. Sell all this. Sell all that. Oh, what's this? Oh, here we go. If the rare of this ring has Smite Evil class ability, it grants them 1 additional use of it per day after resting. That's cool. I'm not using that. I'm not using Bane. Rare the times I would use Blessing, but whatever. I'm not using Blind. I have so many ways to cause fear. I'm not doing that. I don't like color spray. It can hit my friends. I'm not using corrosive touch. Most likely, yeah, I'm not using corrosive touch. Healing, you might never know when you need. That curse is kind of nice. Dispel magic is always good. Displacement has its uses. Not using divine favor. Not using doom. Not using piercing scream. Large person has its uses. Expeditious retreat has its uses. So does prayer fire. God, I'm not using. No. Scroll of glitter dust has its uses. What is Haze of Dreams? It's 1. It counts for 1 enemy. That might be a use. Might have a use. All enemies might have a use. Scroll of Inflict might have a use. Mage Armor might have a use. Limited usefulness at this point. Magic Missile definitely useful. Scroll of Prayer has its use. No. No, we only want communal versions. No, we're not going to put it on one by one for everybody. Scroll of Protection from Law. I'm playing an evil character. I might need that at some point. Scroll of Rate Sickening. Reduce Person. Scroll of Remove Curse. Definitely want that. Disease, Fear, Paralysis, Sickness, Restoration, Resurrection. All that's good. See Invisibility. Shield. I'm not going to use that. Shield of Faith, not really. I'm not going to think to use that. Scroll of Skin, I'm not going to use that. I use the communal version. Stunning Barrier, every so often. Summon monsters, definitely nice to distract them every so often. What's this? What is it? You reduce a creature to a fumbling clown. Yeah, I never use this. And it's touch range? Nah, I'm not going to be using that. Unbreakable Heart. Creature gains a +4 morale bonus against mind affecting. Oh, yeah, I know what that is. Might have a use. And then there's this. Okay, cool. But really? I'm still giving them 8,600 after all that? You kidding me? I think y'all are undervaluing me. Alright, give them that. Give them that. What's this? Alchemical Fire? I don't need that. Bark Skin has uses. Burr has its uses. Of course, healing we keep around. Large Person, that's healing. We keep that around. Mage Armor. Nope. Not Protection from Chaos. Not Protection from Evil. We just want the communal versions. Reduce Person. Remove Paralysis. Remove Sickness. Nope. I want the communal version. Potion of Restoration Lesser. I'll keep it around for now. Potions of Shit Faith. I'll keep that around for now. Keep that around for now. Okay, cool. All right, now. Now we go to inventory. What's this? Longbow. That's Windowog. She'll take that. Then we have this +1 bow. Does that need to go to anybody? Or do we sell that? I think we sell this. Glaive goes to Socio. You take that. This goes to Sila. You take that. All right. Now. Save again just to be sure. Oh, sell the stuff that I don't need. Don't need that. Don't need that. Excellent. Oops, deal. Okay. All right, now level up. Cross-blooded. Persuasion. Oh, that's it, huh? What's the spell book looking like? Well, I get 10 and 12. That's awesome. All right. We can keep this at the end. I feel like I shouldn't be. What is this? No, I don't need Light of the Angels. And I don't need this either. What's this? Visibility? Nah, rarely will I use that. There we go. Strength. Alright, so if I want to destroy strength, I use this. Right, okay, cool. Alright. So these are my buffs. I'll probably rarely use them. Well, no, it lasts an hour, so I'll go ahead and pop that. Then this will be my main crowd control. And Call Sphere will be my single target shutdown spell. And then if I need to actually attack him, I can use Magic Missile. Okay, he's good. Next. Socio, Spellbook. What do they have you working with? you automatically get healing spells, so I don't need to put that there manually for you. I guess I'll go with those. Not really, don't really care. What is this? Protection from evil communal. Yep, definitely want you to have that. Anything else I'm passionate about in here? Restoration lesser. We can give you a couple of those, but we can also switch it up with something else. Bone shaker. Even though you don't really specialize in necromancy now that I think of it. This is 1 minute per level. Yeah, you'll want that soon, but not right now. All right, prayer definitely. Restore resist energy communal. One version of that. Definitely want to dispel. Oh, and you got a delay poison communal. Definitely want that as well. So you can hold that down for me. Ember, I'm not using you for a while. Camellia, I'm not using you yet. I gotta use you because you got that quest going. And let's see, we want to take away disease is an option, staggered is an option, shaker, daze. Yeah, I'll take disease, why not? Alright. And this tutorial bugged out. I can't see what that's for. Spellbook, do you got anything extra? No, that makes sense. You need more charisma. We'll hook you up. Well, no, actually we won't because we're not going to be playing with you. But next time. Alright, got him all that. And he gets a level 2 power. And he's actually my permanent healer, so it makes more sense. Level 3. He automatically gets healing spells. So actually I do need inflict source wounds, serious wounds. But actually I have my own way to be able to heal myself at this point, so I'm not worried about that. So he could be the one to make sure that he... Well, I could either... Or I could do resist energy communal. Options. Yeah. No. Delay poison is more important. When they put poison on you, ooh, it's brutal. And he automatically gets his spells, right? So I don't need to worry about getting him some manual. Right, okay. Cool. So he automatically gets cure serious wounds. Excellent. Okay, next. Nanio. Scroll Savant Wizard. Yep. Got all of her stuff. She gets 2 powers. These are level 3. We're almost always going to use haste for level 3. So what she does here is actually pretty irrelevant. We already have displacement. We don't have blur. That's nice to have. Yeah, we have burning arc there. Oh, does she not have... She's got shield, right? Yeah, she's got shield. Blur. Displacement. Okay. Alright, so. Let's see, is there anything else? I mean, we can... I guess we can go ahead and grab heroism. Might as well. Alright. Spellbook. Oh, that's right. She's got so many extra powers now. So we'll give her... Yeah. I mean, 2 of them, when it lasts for an hour per level, that should be enough. But it just disappears for no freaking reason. Alright, anyway. Got all those on there. Then load up on Burning Arc, because I don't care about Blur or Mirror Image. She's not really supposed to be getting hit anyway. Oh, that's what it is. Usually we include Scorching Ray, because that's better for single targets. Forgot to do that, but hey, whatever. And then Haste. 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 I don't know. I like Haste more than I like Heroism. Heroism is nice, but I want haste on at all times. Eldritch Scoundrel. Bam, 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 bam. And then what? So he's at level 2. He already got Burning Arc and Scorching Ray, but he doesn't have access to level 3 spells for some reason. Okay. This gives him a +4 enhancement to dexterity. That's kind of nice. Sphere, magic weapon. What does reduce person? It doesn't even increase. Right, +2 to dexterity. Yeah, doesn't really matter. So here, magic weapon, whatever. Now we go to Woljif. Spellbook. Right, so every so often he might need to pop on a blur or a mirror image. Let's see, yeah, we'll give them both. One disappears. And then he's got a couple of scorching rays in case there's a single target that needs to be taken care of. And of course he also loads up on magic missile. Alright, and we're done with him. Right, because none of these, they don't have quests coming up. Oh wait, but there's a pet that needs to level up. There we go. Devotion. What's devotion? +4 morale bonus on will saves against enchantment spells and effects. Nice. Alright, last one that I need to level up right now. Wenduog. Demon Slayer. 5/5. 5 stealth. Who do you favor? Favorite enemies. Face a lot of humans, a lot of undead. Do I already have outsiders? I think demons. Do demons count as outsiders? Yeah, I think they do. It's monstrous humanoids, humans, goblins, gnomes, giant humanoids, dwarves, dragons, constructs, animals, and what are aberrations? Let's just go with humans. There's a lot of humans in this game. Hard to go wrong with that. Alright, and I'm pretty sure... Does she get spells? Does she get more spells for that? Hey, there's a spell slot available. And why not? Why not a little acid maul? What does acid maul do again? 1d4 points of damage. And 1d4 points of damage over the course of the next round. Yeah, I don't see anything much better than that. +1 competence bonus on ranged attacks. And the critical multiplier for your bows and crossbows. Actually, yeah. Let's do that instead. Okay. That is all together now.
Our path leads on.
And rest up so that we got all of our stuff. Save the game. All right, and I think that is enough for today. Hope all of you enjoyed watching the video. If so, please leave me a like. Let me know your feedback down in the comment section. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Look forward to seeing you all again in the next video. Take care.